Okay, just settling in. Have a seat. Good morning. Take a big inhale through your nose. Big sigh through the mouth. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, balance your head on top of your spine, and just begin some nice, deep, slow Ujjayi breathing while we check in with our body. So feeling each and every part of your anatomy, noticing what might need a little assistance from you today, and noticing what feels absolutely fantastic already, what's working perfectly. And then let's go ahead and check in with our thoughts and with our emotions and with our energy. We're going to bring palms together in front of the heart, set our intention for practice. And then seal the deal by taking a deep breath in through the nose and a big exhale through the mouth. Relax your arms, roll your shoulders back a couple of times, and let's start in downward facing dog. So I want you to just plant your hands, step your feet back, feel free to pedal the feet a little bit if you need to. And then just stretch for a moment and kind of check back in. Like, how's your body feeling here? Down dog is a great place to see how each part of you is doing. Take a couple more breaths here. And then just walk your feet forward. Keep your knees bent when you get to the front of the mat so that you can just totally relax over the thighs and dangle in your ragdoll. Make sure your neck is relaxed so that the weight of your head can help draw some length into your spine. And then on your next inhale, let's come all the way up. Reach the arms up and overhead, stretch. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. And then exhale, back down. We're gonna step back with the left leg. Just hold your lunge for a couple of breaths here. Drop your left knee down, bring the arms up and overhead. Pelvis tilts back as the hips move forward. First little foray into opening front of left hip. Bring your left hand down to the mat. Put your right hand on the inside of the right knee. Roll to the outside edge of your right foot. Apply some gentle pressure here to just kind of say hello to inner right thigh, outer right hip. Make sure your ankle is flexed if you have knee issues. And you want to be rolled onto the outside edge of the foot. So really all we're trying to affect here is the hip, nothing else. Take one more breath here. And then extend your right leg. And we'll just kind of get into the hamstring for a moment. Again, flexing ankle and toes if you can. And then from here, we'll go ahead and step it back to plank position. Hold your plank for a moment just to get the core fully engaged and awake. I will not be messing with your vinyasas this morning. Probably good news for some of you, but that doesn't mean that you can't do your own thing. So when you're ready on an exhale, lower down however you like. Come into either cobra or upward facing dog. And then downward facing dog. You can do your vinyasas however you want today, as long as you're following your breath. That means if you feel like throwing in some extra chaturanga push-ups or something, you can, or you can always modify and be really gentle. From this down dog, we're gonna step the left foot forward, hold the lunge for a couple of breaths. Drop your right knee down, raise the arms up and overhead, tilt the pelvis back, let your hips move forward. Beginning to feel front of right hip. And then we're going to take the right hand to the mat, left hand to the inside of the left knee. Pardon me, roll onto the outside edge of your left foot and apply a little bit of pressure on the inside of your left knee. Go ahead and extend left leg, get into your left hamstring, flex the ankle and toes. Step forward to your standing forward bend. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, back down. This time we're going to step back with the right leg. So you've got a left foot forward lunge. Just hold your lunge for a moment. If you feel like you can, keep the right knee off the ground. Bring the arms up and overhead. Excuse me, tilt the pelvis back and let the hips sink again. Bring your right hand down to the mat. If you can, both feet rotate a full 90 degrees to the left. Let the hips sink, but your right leg stays straight. You're trying to feel sensation in this left outer hip. So you can either have your left hand to the ceiling, or you can bring it down, kind of like you're reaching around in front of your left shin. And then we're just going to rotate both feet all the way back around, gaze forward, and begin to straighten the left leg. From here, step it back to plank. Take the vinyasa of your choice and meet me in downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward. Hold your lunge. And if you feel like you can, let's just go from here. Take your arms up and overhead. Pelvis tilts, hips drop, getting a little deeper into the front of that left hip. Left hand comes to the mat. Both feet rotate a full 90 degrees to the right. Let the hips sink. You're trying to find sensation in your right outer hip. Right arm can either reach for the ceiling or it can reach around in front of the right shin. We rotate all the way back around. Begin to extend the right leg. So now it's a slightly deeper right hamstring stretch. Step forward to your standing forward bend. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, back down. Step back with your left foot, spin the heel flat, rise up, warrior two. Left hand on left thigh, right arm reaches up and over, reverse your warrior. Come all the way back up. Rotate right foot in ever so slightly, right heel stays down, left toes point at the ceiling as you come into Skandasana. Hands can be on the mat if they need to, or you can have your hands in prayer. Hold this for another breath. Now, as we put the left foot back down, we're going to transition to Skandasana on the left side. Your feet should be the right distance apart now. So, left foot comes down, right toes point at the ceiling. And we transition back to Skandasana on the right. We'll be doing this a little quicker in a moment. Now, from here, you bring your hands back to the mat, swivel around, you'll be in a lunge. All right, from here you can step back, plank position, flow through a vinyasa. Step your left foot forward, spin your right foot flat, and come up, warrior two. Take your right hand to your right thigh, reverse to your warrior so that left arm reaches up and over. Make sure you keep your left knee aligned. You're going to come up from here. So your left toes are going to rotate in slightly. You're sinking your hips down, letting right toes point at the ceiling for Skandasana. Remember, hands can be on the ground if you need them to, but try and keep your left heel flat. Transition to the right side. And back to the left. And then from here, you can just take your hands to the mat, swivel around on both feet, step it back, plank position, flow through your vinyasa. From here, take your right leg straight back, three-legged dog. We're going to do the same series, and we're going to go a little faster. I want you to bring your right foot forward, left foot spins flat, warrior two. Left hand on left thigh, reverse your warrior. Come back up, rotate your right foot in, Skandasana on the right side. Transition, Skandasana on the left side. Back to Skandasana on the right. Swivel around, step it back to plank, take your vinyasa. Left leg straight behind you. Step it through, spin the right heel flat, warrior two. Right hand on your right thigh, reverse warrior. Come up, we've got Skandasana on the left. It's a side lunge, by the way. Skandasana on the right. Skandasana back to the left. Hands to the mat, swivel around, step back to plank, flow through your vinyasa. Getting those hips warmed up this morning. Nice, it's good to see some of you guys doing your chaturanga push-ups. That's awesome. Take a couple of breaths in your down dog and lengthen. And then from here, we're gonna take the right leg up in the air, stretch. Right foot steps forward, left foot flat, warrior two. Straighten your right leg, lengthen out, find triangle pose on the right side. Bring your left hand down, lengthen for a moment over your right leg. So we're going to be playing a little bit here. As you flatten out your hands, you're going to take your right leg straight behind you again, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, roll your hip open. Downward facing scorpion. Bring your right leg underneath you with the knee bent, sliding your left leg back. Bring under your forearms for pigeon. Two more breaths here. Go right back into three-legged dog. Right leg goes straight back. Bend the knee again, roll the hip bone open. If you want, flip your dog. Right foot finding the floor behind you. Pelvis tilts, by the way, so you feel this on the front of your hips. Now, from here, we're going to take it all the way back around with the right leg underneath us, but this time it's going to be straight. So, swiveling back around, right hand finds the mat, right leg goes underneath you straight with your foot flexed, and you lower down onto your stomach, maybe reaching the arms out like a T, maybe grabbing your right foot with your left hand, maybe turning your head to the right. Hands go back under the shoulders, shoot that right leg back for the final time, three-legged dog, and then put your right foot down and take a vinyasa. We get to do all of that fun stuff on the other side. So left leg goes straight back. Step it through, right foot spins flat, warrior two. Left leg straightens, we lengthen the rib cage, we find our triangle on the left side. Go ahead and bring that right hand down, take a moment lengthening over this left leg. And then remember, we're going to just shoot the left leg straight back. Three-legged dog. Bend the left knee, roll the hip bone open, downward facing scorpion. Swing the left leg underneath bent knee for pigeon. Sliding the right leg back, coming onto the forearms and breathing. One more breath here. And again, we're taking left leg straight back. Bend your knee, roll your hip open. If you can, flip your dog. Left foot finding the ground, left arm overhead. You're kind of tucking the tailbone under to get the front hip to open. And then from here, one more time, left leg underneath, but this time it's straight, foot flexed. We lower down to our stomachs. Maybe extend the arms out like a T, turning head to the left. Maybe grabbing left foot with right hand. Hands underneath shoulders. Shoot that left leg straight back. One more time. Left foot down, shift into plank, flow through your vinyasa. Lengthen your spine. Take a couple of breaths here. From here, you can either walk or jump forward. Standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, palms together in front of the heart. So, I'd like you to stand on your right foot first. Bring your left foot up onto either the ankle, the calf, or the thigh of the right leg. Press the leg out to the side. So your left outer hip is very engaged. Right hip is also engaged to keep you aligned. Palms come together in front of the heart. Couple more breaths on this side. Release your left foot down. Pardon me. And then we bring right foot wherever you want it, either ankle, calf, or thigh, onto the left leg. The right knee should press out, so the right outer hip is engaged. Left hip is also engaged to keep you aligned. Palms are together. One more breath. And release. Good job. From here, take a big inhale, reach your arms up, stretch up, and as you exhale, fold forward. Look up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, back down. Pardon me, I apologize for clearing my throat so much. Step your left leg back. Come into a lunge. Bring your right hand to the inside of the right foot and come onto your left forearm and perhaps the right to come into lizard. From here, pardon me, come back up onto your hands. They're both on the inside of that right foot. I want you to reach your right arm underneath your right leg. See if you can maybe get your shoulder a little bit underneath your right thigh. Stay low. Elbows are bent, kind of like chaturanga. Drop the left knee, but keep your left toes turned under. Scoot your right foot forward. See if you can extend your right leg, and if so, take the left knee back off the ground. Take one more breath. From here, you should be able to step your right leg back to plank, lower down, come into your up dog, and down dog. Left foot steps forward up between the hands. Bring your left hand to the inside of the left foot. Come onto your right forearm. Maybe the left one as well. Come back up onto your hands, reach your left arm underneath your left leg and plant the hand. Maybe get the shoulder underneath that left leg a little bit. Once you're there, drop your right knee down, but keep the right toes turned under. Stay low so your elbows are bent. See if you can extend your left leg. And if you get the left foot off the floor, take the right knee up. One more breath. And then step it back, plank position, go through your vinyasa. From this downward facing dog, you can either walk or jump forward to your standing forward bend. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms together. Turn sideways. Take a nice wide side step. Excuse me, and begin with your feet forward. So in other words, feet are parallel. Hinge at your hips. If you can grab your big toes, go ahead and grab each big toe with the first 2 fingers and thumb of each hand. Get yourself settled and then actually pull as though you're pulling your head down towards the floor. Release your hands onto the mat. Just bend your right knee a little bit, but we're keeping the left foot flat. Slightly different from Skandasana, but you've already been there. Switch, bend your left knee, straighten the right leg. So you should feel this even more in the inner thighs. Come back to the center. Take the feet wider if you can. Take a breath. Take the feet wider if you can. Maybe you can come onto your forearms, maybe not. From here, we're going to be transitioning into frog. If your knees don't like Bakasana, you can do it from a standing position, rotating the feet out and pressing on the inner thighs. If you're good down here, you're going to drop the knee and bring the foot behind it, flexed. So if you look behind you, your shins are parallel to each other and they're parallel to the short sides of your mat. Your feet are flexed, so your feet are parallel to the long sides of your mat. You're on your elbows and you're pushing your bum back. So the tailbone is moving back towards the heels. You should feel that pretty quickly. So it's a nice groin stretch. Remember, not too much, not too little, just right, and keep breathing. Awesome job. Bring the knees back together. Reorient yourself on the mat. Take a couple breaths in child's pose. You've earned it. And then shift into plank and take another vinyasa. So from this downward facing dog, we're going to take the right leg up in the air, bend the right knee, roll the hip bone, open, 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 and then swing the right leg underneath for pigeon. Slide your left leg back, but stay on your hands this time. Once you find the right spot, you're going to keep your left hand in the center of the mat, and if you're able, reach back with your right hand to grab your left foot and gently pull it towards your right buttock. Keep your pelvis tilted back. So this is a pretty intense left front hip opener, but you should still be feeling your right glute. Couple more breaths. Release your left leg down, maybe even slide it back a little more. Come down onto your forearms, see if this pigeon feels a little looser than the first one. Maybe you can just nestle your torso all the way down onto the floor. Hands under shoulders, shoot your right leg straight back. Bend the knee, roll the hip bone open. Last opportunity to flip your dog if you want to. Right foot behind you, right arm overhead. Take a couple breaths. And back to downward facing dog. Shift into plank, take a vinyasa. From this down dog, we take the left leg back, bend the knee, roll the hip open. Swing the left leg underneath with a bent knee, slide your right leg back to stay up on your hands. Right hand's gonna stay in the middle of the mat, left hand reaches back if you can for your right foot or ankle, and you're pulling gently your right foot towards your left glute. You're trying to keep your pelvis tilted back. You want to feel this on the front of your right hip, right thigh. Release your right foot, maybe slide your right leg back a little more. Come onto the forearms or perhaps deeper to come into your last pigeon on the left side. And then from here, hands are under shoulders, left leg shoots straight back. Bend your left knee, roll the hip open. Last opportunity to flip your dog on the left arm overhead if you choose to do it. Take another breath, keep your pelvis tilted. Flip it back around, downward facing dog. Last vinyasa of this morning's practice. Make sure you take full advantage of the spine lengthening, downward facing dog that you're in. Really press your hips back and your heels down. And then you can either walk or jump your feet forward and have a seat. Extend your legs, and we will take a moment in Dandasana to just kind of check in. So your hands can either be right behind your backside to help you keep a straight spine, or they can be on top of your thighs. Your legs should be active, the spine is straight. You're just checking back in with your body, your breath, your mind, your heart, your energy, and your intention. Keep your right leg straight. Bring your left foot to the inside of your right thigh and lean out over your right leg. Coming up from that, pick your left foot up, bring it on top of your right thigh, just above the ankle. Flex your left ankle. I said ankle, this will be your right knee. Bring your left ankle right above your right knee and flex your left ankle. Sorry about that. Hands behind you for a very straight spine. And then you're gonna bend your right knee. So we're coming into this seated figure 4. And in order for this to be as effective as it should be, you want to keep your spine very straight. That's why we have our hands on the floor behind us, lifting the chest and pressing forward. Now, if you have the flexibility and the desire, you may grab your right knee and use that to pull the chest forward and up. More leverage, but what we're basically going for here is a very straight spine. You should feel this in your left glute. That would be your left buttock. Take 2 more breaths. If your hands are on your leg, put them back on the ground, because what we're going to do is just drop the right leg over, let the left foot be flat, And we're in position for a twist. Left hand behind you, and you begin to twist to your left. Now, as we come out of the twist, you're gonna bring your right foot forward a little bit. Just slide that left leg over, taking a couple of breaths in stacked logs or fire logs. Both ankles should be sharply flexed. Your shins should be vertically stacked, even if they're not touching. So some of you will have your legs touching easily, in which case you can twist to your right. Those of us who are not touching easily this morning, if we can, we'll simply lean forward. One more breath and you're out of there. Awesome. Coming up from that, extend your legs. Find your sit bones. Feel free to wiggle the legs if you need to. And then we're going to take the right foot to the inside of the left thigh and just lean out for a few breaths. Coming up, pick your right foot up, bring your right ankle just above the left knee. Keep your right ankle flexed. Hands are behind you for that straight spine, left knee bends. Scooch up if you like, but the idea is to have that very, very straight spine. So again, hands can stay behind you just to help you with a straight spine. If you choose to, you can reach around and grab your left shin, but you want to pull it for leverage so that your spine is exceptionally straight here. And take a couple more breaths. Go ahead and let your left leg drop over till the whole sole of the right foot hits the ground. We are now in position to twist to the right. So give yourself a nice twist. And then as we come out of this, we're just going to move that left foot out a little bit. We'll let the right foot slide on top of the left knee. Make sure both ankles are flexed. It's stacked logs again. Those of you twisting, you'll be twisting to the left. The rest of us, if we need to, will just lean forward, trying to get those shins to touch. Keep your ankles flexed. Remember to keep breathing. Just 2 more breaths. And we come on out of that, extend the legs out and give them a good wiggle. Take your legs nice and wide, flex the ankles, make sure your toes are pointing straight up and that you're on your sit bones, and then lengthen your spine forward. You can have your hands behind you if you need to, or they can be in front of you, or you can grab your toes like we did when we were in our standing forward bend. But keep your chest lifted and pulling forward. Don't round your back. And then just breathe and let gravity help you here. Two more breaths. Come on up from that. Bring your legs together. Give them a good little wiggle. And then you can roll onto your back, hug your knees, and rock side to side. So I want you to go ahead and choose an inversion for today's practice. So that means that your abdominal organs are higher than your head. or your heart is higher than your head, or at least the abdominal organs are higher than your heart. So that could be a handstand, a headstand, shoulder stand, plow, bridge. If you need to be very gentle, it could be your hips on a block with your legs sticking up. But we're gonna hold it for 9 slow breaths. So choose wisely, listen to your body rather than trying to think what you should do, feel what you should do, and then off you go in version of your choice for 9 breaths. As you finish out that 9th breath, you can just find your way onto your back again, hugging your knees and rocking side to side. Then I want you to feel into your body and decide what your best twist is in a reclined position for today. What I'd like you to do is twist to your right. That means your left arm will be opened out. So we've done a lot of hip work. If you need some direction, I would recommend the right foot in the middle of the mat with the left thigh tightly crossing the right, dropping your knees to the right. But that might be too much for you. You might need something gentle. So please do your own thing and let your body relax into this reclined twist. Two more breaths on this side. On your next inhale, come on up. You can hug your knees in and rock a little bit. So if you were doing that deep hip opening twist with me, this round you'll be putting left foot on the ground, right thigh tightly crossing left. If you were doing something else, please continue doing what you're doing. Either way, we're dropping our knees to the left and the right arm is opening out to the right. Two more breaths on this side. And then we bring the legs back up. Give them a good squeeze. Hug them in, rock side to side. And then grab the outside edges of your feet. Wiggle around, do whatever you need to do. Happy baby. If there's something else that you prefer, please feel free to do it. So we're just really giving the hips and the low back and even the hamstrings the final opportunity to let go of some stuff. So you did all around hips today. You got outer hips and inner thighs and groin. You got front of the hips and back of the hips, the glutes and piriformis. You got the whole shebang. So the nice thing is that also helps release low back. As you feel ready, go ahead and bring your feet to the mat. Let your knees drop open, soles of the feet together. Take a deep breath in, flatten the low back. So you're tilting the pelvis back. Taking the curve out of the spine, you'll feel your pubic bone kind of scoop up. This is lengthening your low back muscles. Take one more breath. And then when you breathe out, just completely relax your body again. You'll feel your back slightly arch. And then one more time, we're going to inhale and just kind of press the navel down towards the mat. Take another breath. Next time you breathe out, release, relax, begin to extend your legs. If you feel like you need to roll them in and out a little bit, go for it, and then just let them flop. Find the right distance apart for the feet. Make sure your buns are relaxed, your spine feels lengthened. That includes your neck. Your shoulders are relaxed, your hands are below the heart, the palms face up, the eyes are closed, the jaws are relaxed, and we breathe in deeply. Exhale with a sigh, and let go of control of the breath. Let go of all muscular tension. Let go of any attachments to how we think we should feel or be. We simply let go into the present moment. And when we can truly let go into the present moment, we can let go into trust and faith that the present moment is perfect. It's all there is. Everything is exactly as it should be. We are as we should be, where we should be. There is no need to change or alter anything. Right now, right here, it's perfect. So just rest in that during your Shavasana. If you find that you have drifted away from being present in this moment, right now, right here, just come back. Just return to feeling your body, being aware of your breath, and just simply appreciating this moment right here, right now. Start to feel back into your body. Start to move fingers and toes a little bit. Start to deepen your breath a little bit. Take a deeper inhale. Spread your fingers and toes and exhale. Relax. Even deeper breath in. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then exhale and relax. Bring the knees up. You can hug them in if you like. Roll to your right. And then go ahead and press yourself up into sitting. So we're just going to do a couple of yummy things for the upper part of the body now. You did some pretty intense hip stuff. So from a seated position, just put your right hand on the ground and gently slide it out to the right a little bit, keeping your left hip really grounded, and let your neck relax over to the right. Take a breath and then reach the left arm down, kind of like you're trying to put your fingertips on the ground. And it doesn't matter if you do, you're basically depressing that left shoulder blade. And you should feel the left side of the neck really stretching here. Take a couple breaths. Now on your next inhale, instead of reaching the arm up, I want you to reach it in front of you, so that as you exhale, it's reaching over to the right, but you have space between left ear and left shoulder. And then you're just going to bend your right elbow slightly. Now you're getting a really big stretch on the left side of the torso. Expand your ribcage with your next inhale. Then we're going to relax the left hand down. Let ourselves come back up, but the head is still hanging to the right. You're actually going to put your right hand on your right cheek. Push the head back up. Pause in the center. Roll the shoulders back. Your left shoulder should feel looser than the right. And then we're going to switch. So you're just going to put your left fingertips on the ground, slide them out. Keep your right hip firmly planted. Then let your head just hang over to the left. Then I want you to reach your right hand down, down, down towards the ground. Again, you're basically dropping the right shoulder blade so that you feel a stretch on the right side of the neck. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Now, on your next inhale, the right arm starts to swing in front of you so that as you exhale, it's reaching over to the left, but you've got tons of space between right ear and right shoulder. And then you could actually bend your left elbow a little bit. Now you're feeling a big stretch on the right side of the torso, and you can use your inhale to expand the ribcage. You're going to slowly let your right hand come back down. Bring yourself back up to sitting, but your neck is still relaxed. Use the palm of your left hand on your left cheek. Push your head back up and roll your shoulders back. Nice. And then from here today, we're just going to do a Hamgraha for our pranayama, our breath work. I want you to interlace your fingers. Left thumb is on top, please. So if you normally do it with your right thumb on top, just switch them. Just let your hands rest in your lap. Straight spine, closed eyes. Breathing is normal. Just take a moment and just kind of sit for a second. No controlling of the breath. So sometimes this is the challenge, to let go of control, right? So as you're just breathing your normal soft breaths, begin to become aware of your breath moving in the nostrils. Notice how the inhales move up towards your third eye point between the eyebrows. Notice that as that's happening on the inhale, you can also be aware of the heart expanding. Remember, no control of the breath. You're just letting it do what it's doing. You're just watching it. And you're aware of the breath in the nostrils, the breath moving up towards that third eye point, and the expansion at the center of the chest, all at the same time. Again, not letting the mind wander, just like in Shavasana, staying present. Each breath, you're aware of the breath moving in the nostrils up towards that point between the eyebrows as the heart expands. Zero effort, pure presence, pure awareness. Slowly unlace fingers, let them move out to the knees or thighs. They can be either palms up or palms down. Take this opportunity to check into your entire body. How do you feel? Not only the hips that we worked, or even like neck and shoulders that we just opened, but how do you feel overall, physically? Muscles, bones, joints, organs. How do you feel? You've been paying attention to your breath, so you should know that it's even and regular. Check in with your thoughts. Check in with your emotions. Notice what your energy is like right now. Bring back to mind the intention that you said at the beginning of class, and I want you to either reaffirm it, reaffirm it for the rest of your day, or set a new intention for the rest of your day. And then with that in mind, we'll bring the palms back together in front of the heart. And we take a moment in gratitude for these amazing, miraculous bodies that we are fortunate enough to live in right now. We take a moment in gratitude for this breath that we're breathing, that's keeping this body alive. Pardon me. And we take a moment in gratitude for our minds, for this awareness, for this knowing, this ability to appreciate what we have. Take one more huge inhale through the nose. Big happy sigh through the mouth. We bring our palms together in front of our foreheads, and this is just a reminder to be present, to stay present, to appreciate the perfection of each moment. We bring our palms together in front of our mouths, and it reminds us to speak our truth, even when that's hard, but to also speak it kindly so it can be heard. And then we bring our palms together in front of our hearts to remind us that we have beautiful hearts. We have divine hearts. And if we keep them open, compassion and love will flow both ways. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Namaste.